Okay, so I'm going to be recording this and we'll go ahead and get started. So it's kind of cool. What I've noticed lately with Remax, it seems, is that they're buying a lot of technology.
Mhm.
Um, and I know sometimes there's kind of a disconnect on, well, what does that really mean for me? And how does that really help me grow my business? And how does it help, my clients? And everything is kind of intertwined. With real estate, information and data is, a big driver. And a lot of times it's like, well, how does this driver help me drive my bus, my real estate career bus? So today we're going to talk about this one technology that they have purchased. So right away, it's a cool product and it's one of our unfair advantages because it is not available to anybody else. And, whenever we can have proprietary information and tools, that's a real benefit as long as we learn how to leverage it so that it's like, okay, now I'm taking advantage of the competitive advantage that no one else has access to. So, a lot of times, if we have access to these great resources and tools that no one else has and we don't take advantage of it, that's we're not really leveraging. So, a lot of what I try to help all of you with is how do we leverage what makes sense for me? There's a lot in the Remax toolbox, and some of it is going to pertain and some of it's not. And the easiest way I have found to kind of go through this is by going through your vital activities checklist. So if you really sit down and drill down on what am I going to do for my sellers? What am I going to do for my buyers? From lead generation to post closing activities, those momentum checklists, that we had a starting point from. What's a great exercise probably takes about an hour. So we definitely want to put some thought into it. But what we can do is go pretty much line by line and analyze. Is there a tool? Is there a resource? Is there a staff person? Is there a way that I can implement this and do it better, smarter, more efficient, improve the client experience by using something that we offer, whether it's just Remax Center or the Remax Toolbox. So, I'm happy to do that. I think it's a great workshop too, to do it as a group, because then you hear what everybody else is utilizing. But I am happy to set up a one-on-one, or, we get Denise in here and Lori and Tina and like other people that, have heard of what other people are doing to go through that vital activities checklist and just see, hey, are you leveraging everything? Is there more we can take off your plate? Which is what we would really like to do. So today we're going to talk about this first app. Again, always feel free to reach out, email, text, phone call, you know, Facebook, however, I'm happy to help. So don't let like things that are cloudy. Hopefully, I wouldn't want that to get in the way of you progressing through any of the things that we offer. And sometimes I know the answer, sometimes I don't, but we will find the answer together to make sure that we don't have any questions that are left. So a lot at the convention, they were talking about why come in last when you can be first. And it was kind of this little tagline that, everybody was talking about, hey, you're going to be first or you're going to be last. The cool thing about this app is that it actually deals with some of our most important business activities. And when it comes down to it, a lot of us are going to say, oh, lead generation, lead conversion. And you know what? That is your most important business activity. I heard a great seminar yesterday, and he was talking about his 4 priorities every day. And the 4 priorities, and I had never actually heard it this way. So, when I think about what Lori's teaching, with RAMP, and we look at momentum and, Ver Workman and Tom Ferry and Buffini and all these things, kind of get it in our head. Oh, it's always, this, and this. But he had a neat spin on it. And what he said was, every morning I get up and I have 4 priorities. The first priority is finding future clients. And that was just the thing. He goes, I get up and I know I've got, my priority is having future business so I can have income in 35 to 45, 60 days. So my very first priority every day is always finding future clients. And then my second shift goes to, okay, let me make sure I'm servicing everybody that's pending. Everyone that's a listing that I have my listings, anybody that's under contract. Let me make sure that I maintain that so that it does, continue on through where it needs to be. So I then shift for a little bit to my current, we would call that client care. And then my third priority is marketing. How am I going to market? I have to be marketing. I got to figure out, what that's going to look like. So then we look to our pillars, right? So Lori could say, okay, these are the 4 pillars that you've picked in Ramp. I could say, these are your 3 sales channels from Momentum. And then we dive into that. And then the last part that a lot of us forget about is our past clients. Like that, the past clients need to be a separate focus. And I think that really hit home for me this year at the convention with Jared James, talking about the fact that every client over the lifespan that you are engaged with them is worth a return of investment of $117,000. How cool would it be if we actually tracked, and I know that I think the Buffini CRM, I'm sure, does tracks your referrals, but if you're not utilizing that, are you tracking what the return is on the investment of time, care, communication, providing value, putting smiles on people's face, taking time in them, really proactively and intentionally. So and it was kind of cool because he said, I don't really time block. I know everybody talks about time blocking and there's nothing wrong with it. He said, I just developed Quick On. I was coming off a $20,000 salary job, and I knew I had to hit it hard. And if I was going to be an entrepreneur, it's a mindset. It's a mindset of these 4 things every day. And I do a little bit here, and it might not be the prettiest, but I'm getting the job done. So it was kind of cool to hear that not everybody's perfect with time blocking and this and that. So what I like about this app is not only is it going to help us in the lead generation and the lead conversion arenas, which are our most important, but even with people working by referral, they're like, I don't know who to call. I don't know what to say. I don't, know what to do. And so a lot of times the engagement falls off and we don't keep that engagement going the way we need to. So rather than being spontaneous and reactive and multitasking and being stressed out and being caught in the moment, what the first app is going to do for you is it's going to work directly with your database. It's not the only functionality, but what this is going to help you do is answer that big question: who should I be spending my time with? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I got the information, but then I didn't know what to say. And I didn't, then it was too late or this and that. So when you start from the beginning and really kind of understand this in a big picture thinking, I think it can really add some benefit into your database. So your database right now, it's already a list of relationships. So it's already people that would recognize you, they know you, they already feel compelled to refer you and hire you. But what it's going to do is it's going to go out and track what these people are doing. So it can give you some insight into, did that person just get a new job? Did they have a change in income? Have they been online looking at different school districts, like, oh, where did this school district redistrict from? Or did they have a job change? Are they looking in other states? Have they been on all these Home Depot and Lowe's? Have they actually been searching on Zillow? Have they been doing? So I was having this conversation with some folks yesterday, and it was so funny because a lot of the first conversation has been around sellers. It's going to help you find sellers. It's going to help you find sellers. And this gal in the meeting said, well, I did use it, but it was kind of funny because they rated this person as a 3-star and they were renting. So what do you think that means? They weren't a property owner. So what were they, Vicki?
A buyer.
A buyer. And she was thinking that it didn't work.
Okay.
And so it gave them a 3-star rating, and she immediately was like, oh, they're not even a property owner. And I guess just because of maybe we've been talking so much about the person most likely to sell, but almost everybody, if they're selling their house, they're got to live somewhere, right? We cover the basic needs for people: food, shelter, and water. So we cover the shelter. Hey, we cover the shelter part. So it was kind of funny. And then I've heard things like, well, and I like Vicky already said, well, I didn't put, was it your vendors?
I didn't put my vendors or partners in there, but I put everybody else in there.
Yeah, so everybody else is in there. And if you think about Buffini, remember, one of our referral sources should be our vendors. So it might not be bad to know if they're nosing around
We can
doing
do that.
something. You know what I mean? Good point. I mean, just think about it.
Okay.
And then I've had other people, well, my good lender appeared as a 3 and he's not moving. And I said, well, then that's just proving that the technology works, because it's giving him a 3 because lenders are probably all over real estate sites and things that have to do with real estate. So, I mean, are there serial searchers that are out there that are just constantly looking at properties? Sure, there are. But so what? We still need to make sure we know if they are a serial, looker, or has all of a sudden something changed in their life that's going to make them pull the trigger. So it all comes down to us kind of, I think for a long time and I'm guilty of it, top 100. So Lori, when we talk about the top 100, what's the basic premise behind the top 100? What's our goal?
Couple of goals. I mean, you're staying in flow with your people, and then you're also taking people from like a B to an A to get them to refer them, to get them to refer others to you.
Right, to get them to refer others. And I feel that there could be, and I haven't been putting enough emphasis of what First does. When I talk about stay in flow, I'm almost always talking about do an email 1 month, do a text 1 month, do a video, do a personal note. It's all this outgoing. And I think a big thing for me is that I may have been talking too much about automation and campaigns and focusing on the activity, where what we really need to be doing is taking it one step further. So I feel like some automation and campaigns have been causing us to maybe lose some opportunity, because we may get it on set it and forget it, or we get so focused on the fact that just do the text message, where I think what we need to be doing is the conversations, and engagement through conversations is what's going to lead to deeper relationships, which lead to future sales and referrals, because we actually know what the heck people are doing. So
Yeah.
I find it a good shift to, even as I look at the daily success habit tracker, and, I'm really starting to change my focus on how many conversations have you had today? Not how many voicemails did you leave, not how many notes did you do, not how many texts. And I know that in the past we've talked about what a contact is, and a contact is a two-way communication or a two-way. And I feel personally that I've kind of not forgot, but I think I have not emphasized enough about the conversations.
And I agree with you, only because one thing I like about automations, and I still think there's a place for it, because they're there. The way I look at automations is, so you don't drop the ball, right? So like if it helps you from dropping the ball, from if you're out of touch with people, the automations are there to catch those balls that you may have dropped because you weren't in flow with them or something. But it is, especially right now, I think people want to feel significant, right?
Oh, I love that. People want, yeah, I love that. People want to feel significant. And that's so important. It's so funny how, like, as we go through these trainings, like one area will completely stick out and we kind of get all wrapped up in that. And then something else will expose. And I think I've talked to a couple of agents now that went to the sales meeting, and they just loved what Cleve was talking about and the nuggets that he brought in, to that. And several people are like, oh, we need to have quarterly masterminds where we can all just get in a room and, talk about these things. So I think it prompted a lot of great feedback and, just kind of reflecting on where we've been and what's been going on this last year. So this first app, really intrigued me. It started to get more of my attention when I went to the convention. And part of that reason is because statistically, they're able to see who's downloaded it, who's engaging with it, and they were able to reach out to quite a bit of people that are utilizing the first app. And let me just show you. Mike's not so they were actually able to reach out to these people and have conversations with them. And what they have found is that the people that have adopted this and have incorporated it into their daily routines, so maybe 15, 20 minutes a day, have increased their business by almost 50%. Now, that's a big number. I don't, they didn't say is that they're doing 20, now they're doing, 30 but I think any increase, no matter what level you're at, of 50% is pretty significant. And that's really what piqued my interest. I'm like, am I missing something? I'll be honest, I downloaded it. I think Lori did too. We're not in sales. So after the 90-day trial, it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to pay for it because I know I won't use it because I'm not selling. So anyway, that piqued my interest to find out more. And it's pretty impressive. And I've been talking to some people. I talked to 2 people in Denver that are like, it's a game changer. It has been a game changer for them. And there's some testimonials that are out there. But I think moving forward, getting a little more dialed in on how many conversations are you having, and another thing I heard yesterday from this webinar was, it said, don't get so hung up on the activities. You need to get hung up on the quality of the activities. And that kind of hit me in the face too yesterday. So it was a really good learning day. Because, I'm like, notes, calls, pop buys, do this, do your top 100, but we need to make sure that these are high quality activities, because otherwise we might be fueling burnout. And taking people's eye off of, are you getting better? Is it, relevant? Is it current? Is your skill set improving? So I think First can help with this. So again, RE/MAX decided to buy the technology. I think there's going to be a lot of new benefits that end up coming out of First in the future, which is great. But let's just kind of dive in and say, what is First? What is First? So RE/MAX University is a great place.
Alpha's at doggy daycare.
What was that?
How to get control of that dog.
I can't control him. He's out of control. And we've been working with him so good, but he hears noises and that still kind of freaks him out. So RE/MAX University is a great place to start. There's several different learning tracks to help guide you through. I do want to just kind of dive into one, and these are short videos, but just to give you an overview from the horse's mouth, if you will, let's just watch this just together here. Let me make sure my sound is on. Hold on.
What is First? Or should I say, who is First? First is a technology company that leverages data science, machine learning, and human interaction to the tune of over 700 different data points to help you better leverage the value of your already existing personal network. With First, some of the goals are to discover likely sellers that are already existing in your personal connections. It's also there to help you streamline your database, follow up effortlessly, and even help track your progress so that you aren't blindly working your way through your network. Now, with any new technology, there's always some steps for startup. Step 1 is to add people into the app. If you allow it, it is going to sync to your phone and to the email accounts that you already use to pull contacts and put them into the First app for you. You can also email a contact list to realtordata@first.io and then even add individual contacts that you might meet on the street or in a restaurant. Step 2 is choosing which of those people to talk to. First is going to help you by giving you recommendations. These are contacts that are the highest scored and closest to you that you have yet to review. We're also going to give you different opportunities where you can see where all contacts that are starred from 0 to 3 stars. This is going to give you a funnel. Working your funnel is going to allow you to keep in flow with people you want to be more consistent with. This is going to automatically create a 2-month contact reminder for you. You can then even move someone to the hot list. These are people that you know are thinking about selling, and you'll get automatic 2-week reminders for contact. Now, step 3 is going to be reaching out and following up. The next steps help you make staying top of mind a habit. It's also going to help when you work your funnel, reach out to your contacts from inside the First app, and check the box that you've completed these contact attempts. And then reschedule a next step instead of letting it go past due. All of this is going to work to gather your personal network efficiency. You're going to see how much listing potential is in your network and how much of it you are missing out on. But one of the biggest things with First, if you're only going to do one thing, that's focus on outreach, not on organization. Stay with the easy wins. Organize as you go. Building your database is key, and staying organized will help you do that, but focus on those existing relationships. For any remaining questions, please use the information on the screen to contact RE/MAX Product Support.
Okay, so that's kind of the overview of just getting your contacts in there, but it does more than that. And I know they want to talk about, oh, just your existing contacts or as you meet people. There's a lot of different ways you can utilize this technology because you can put them into groups. So like Vicki was saying, well, I didn't put my, preferred partners in there yet, but you could put your preferred partners in. You could put, your lender in and other things. You can get referrals from them as well. But what I like is that you're able to see the potential. And a lot of times when you see what can be, it gives you motivation and excitement and kind of propels you to do things that you might not want to do otherwise. It also takes out the guesswork. Now you're going to stay in flow with everyone, but wouldn't it be great to know when people are doing things behind the scenes? I think this last year proved to all of us that we've been cocooning. I mean, I knew I was moving to Florida. I actually sold my house before a lot of people even knew I sold it because I sold it kind of in an untraditional way. People are doing things behind the scenes before they ever have the opportunity to let anybody else know. And that's another reason that I feel like our referrals are at extreme risk. Because people are doing things at home in the comfort of their own home. They're searching this and that, and they might not see anybody for days. I mean, hopefully we're moving out of that. But with many people working from home and not being around each other where they can just chit chat and, hey, what you doing? If it's a Zoom meeting or it's a conference call, those typically are get the activity done, get the meeting done, everybody says goodbye, and then they're back at home. We don't have the shoulder to shoulder time anymore. And not that we were unprotected, but a lot of the communication and the social talk and all that is how we actually found out about each other. And we knew what was going on. And I have just been hearing a lot of people like, oh, sorry, I didn't see that on Facebook. I really haven't been on there that much lately. And You know, people that you think are connected in your Facebook probably aren't even connected. I have 2,500 friends and I see the same 21 people's stuff. Like, I feel like I miss a lot when people are like, oh, I do this. I'm like, shoot, did I see that? I mean, I thought I was on Facebook. I'm not even seeing it, and yet I'm friends with people. So that's happening for our stuff. So I think it's really important to utilize this, you know, machine information to our advantage so that we don't have too many hit up in the missed column. I had some people like, well, I saw that I've missed 3 deals and that pissed me off, so I'm not going to use it anymore. Like, I can't even, that is weird. You know, that, I don't know. To me, that would just prove to me that one, something worked, and it would expose to me that I dropped the ball. You know, it's called a mirror moment. Look in the mirror, because sometimes we are our own issue. I had to do that early in my career. Like, I was terrible. I was scared to death of people. I had to, it wasn't, you know, the leads weren't bad. I was bad. So I had to learn. I had to go and adopt and change and learn and grow and be trained and be willing to be trained, so that I could change things. So to me, it's a huge motivator. And that's the people that are using it love that feature, because it proves to them that, shoot, when they were a 2, why didn't I just reach out? Why didn't I say something? Why didn't I? And then people say, I don't know what to say. I don't want to be like, hey, I just downloaded this really cool technology that tells me everything that you're doing online, and I think you might be buying or selling. So we're not going to do that. They give you templates and scripts and ideas. So you can actually click the button that says, what do I say? And it's going to give you ideas of what to say. It's thought of all of the things that we, you know, put the blocks up from. So really good tool. So some of the cool things that you can utilize from First is to clean and organize. And he already talked about that. But what he didn't tell you is that you gain, when you download your contacts, it's going to go out and find social media insights on your relationship. So it's going to filter in their social stuff. And then it's going to also let you know if they're a property owner. So it was great when that gal said, oh, you know, my friend came up a 3, but she's a renter. And I said, okay, can you pull it up and confirm to me that there's no property associated with it? Sure enough, she pulled them up. She's like, nope, they're not a property owner. I said, no, but apparently they're trying to be. So I hope you call them today. Right? So it'll go out and find the information that you don't have to go and search for. If they can find it, they will. So it uses that email address to go see, ooh, are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Are they on LinkedIn? And it grabs that insight for you. And it's right in the app. So it's really nice. You can do everything from the app. Find. So then next, it's going to actually uncover those that are engaging with activities that match with a likely real estate transaction. And again, it's buying and selling. It's not just selling. So before I put my house on the market, well, actually, we bought our home in Florida before we moved. So how many people are thinking about buying another property? So they're going to be doing things that maybe they want a second home in Florida, in the Villages. Maybe they want a vacation home up in Breckenridge, Colorado. Maybe they want something at Lake of the Ozarks. You know, people are entering in the second home market. A lot of people want to put money in real estate. So it goes for both. And I think a lot of the original advertising for First focused on sellers alone. And I think it's for renting, investing, buying, and selling. Then it's going to tell us who should we target. That's the biggest issue. We don't know what they're doing. So as soon as I get a 2, a 1, 2, or a 3, where do you think that I'd go if I got a 1, 2, or a 3 before I even picked up the phone? Where would you go? Is that Denise on there? She might be working. Jody, Denise. Okay, Denise.
Yes.
Yeah. Where would you go if your phone said, hey, Sue just turned up as a 2? Before I did anything, where do you think, where would you go?
I think I would go to the tax records and look up and see if she still lives where I have that she lives, and maybe just kind of, maybe I'd even look like at social media and kind of find out what's going on with her
Yes,
before I pick
that,
up the phone. I like to have all the facts.
yeah. And if they're a property owner, it's going to show their property. Hopefully they haven't listed yet, but I'm with you. I'm going to hop right on social media. I mean, when we started even thinking about the villages, I'm pretty sure if I went back to August before we bought, I was talking about possibly buying a house for retirement. So definitely go and see what they've been doing on social media, and that'll help you with your dialogue moving forward. So another great thing. So now we can clean, we can find, we can target, and then we can connect right through the app. Don't know what to say? They got you covered. They're going to give you ideas. Hey, I was just going through all my list and you popped up. Curious how things are going for you right now. Whatever. They have all these different templates and scripts and things to help you. The other thing that I think is really great, and we've even talked about it with Booge, is putting people on with the top 100. We talk about task plans. And it's so that the phone will tell us what to do with who, when. And I loved that they mentioned in that video, mark it off when you do it. And if you don't do it, reschedule it. Don't let the past tasks build up, that you've not done them. Clean them out. It forces you to do the stuff that you know you should be doing anyway. And if it becomes a mindset, that's what can turn into a habit. And that was the other thing that I loved. So getting in here and exploring the tools. I think it would be great to have a strategy mastermind with anybody that downloads the app, and we could do like a 45-minute, hey, hit this, hit that. What do you see? How many contacts? How many? And actually go through that together. I think what happened was this app came out when we were COVID and homebound. And I think just what Jody said and Vicky, well, I downloaded, but I'm confused. I don't know where. And then we weren't having any classes like in person to go through anything. So I think that added to people checking it out, going, it doesn't seem that great. And then, canceling it. It totally makes sense to me. I could totally see that happening. Whereas if we got together 6 or 7 people that are like, hey, I got it. I want to figure it out. I really want to try to see if this is going to work or not for me. And we're able to kind of walk through the steps together. I think that may be beneficial. Do y'all think that might be beneficial?
Yes.
I feel like it's just easier in a group sometimes. This is kind of cool. So this is from their website, and you can always go to first.io and check out, more of the things that are actually on the site. But in less than 5 minutes, when you sync this to your phone and email, this is what the average first user gets. Again, it's going to depend on how many people you're putting in here, but average 651 opportunities. So the seller star rankings highlight contacts likely to buy or sell, in my opinion. But 651 people have been rated. So if you put in 30, okay, so you're going off of a much smaller data sample. So if we put more, I think I have, I don't know, I might even have like 3,000 contacts in my phone. I don't know, 2,090 of, but there's a lot of people that have gotten in my phone over the years. I don't know, since you get 60 days free, I don't know that I would clean it up before I even put them in. I'd be so curious to see, like, who are these people? Where do they live? And spend 15 minutes a day going through, maybe just line by line, like, yep, I know who that person is, great. Or no, I don't know who that is, but you know what? Maybe I'll just reach out and see if I know them. 1,334 properties were added. So now, as soon as the property gets added, those people put it on the market, it goes in the MLS, and you didn't list it, you're going to be notified, missed opportunity. And I think it's important to have that real life data. It's also a great trigger for one of the 12 ways to get listings right now that Jared James talked about, or the 15 ways. Send people a property update using Google Maps, or whatever, Google Earth, unsolicited. Like, I think if I knew they were a sell, if I thought maybe they were selling, or they got rated at 2, because maybe they just started doing things, you could easily go to social media, see if you see anything. They should already have the property tagged in here. I would just do a little, hey, was thinking about you today. I'm going through my list, giving everybody property updates. I've had a lot of questions about what's happening on the market and how that's impacting their equity position. So I thought I would run one real quick for you. Let me know if you have any questions. Can't wait to get in touch, whatever. Like, so it's going to trigger me. Anybody that's a property owner, I should be doing that anyway. And then they should be on a digs report or a save search anyway. And then that would kind of seal that staying in flow. Yep, staying in flow. I sent them this, they're on a property update. I don't want them going to Zillow to do his estimate. I should be providing that data. I want to let them know. You can use Cloud CMA. You can use any of them, right? So offering them. 800, go ahead, question?
I use Cloud CMA, but the question is Cloud CMA as good as Digs? I was goofing around with Digs the other day. I'm not quite sure what the differences are.
Well, Cloud CMA actually doesn't give a property estimate. It just
Well, no, I'm
sends them-
sorry. It's
Oh.
HomeBeat. I use HomeBeat. I used the wrong term.
Oh,
I use
yeah.
HomeBeat.
HomeBeat. I think, they're both pulling from similar data. It's just which
Yeah.
level of comps they decide to pull. So
Yeah.
it's just going to depend.
Okay.
You can put what I've done, and none of them are going to be accurate, especially in this
No.
market. So
Not.
I think the Digs report visually is a little more appealing than HomeBeat. HomeBeat, Cloud CMA gives like such a good report, and then the HomeBeat's real basic, which is fine.
It's very basic.
Isn't it basic?
It's
They
basic.
haven't jazzed it up very much, but
No.
maybe they will.
I'll check Digs out a little bit more.
Yeah, Digs, you can only put 100 people without having to pay for it. 838 social profiles. So they linked the profiles from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So I get a 2-star rating. It was a 1 yesterday. I get a 2. I can click right to social media from the app. Get right in there,
Oh,
which is nice. It'll flag agents and they're automatically removed from your follow-up lists. So they'll be in the initial list, but then they will not be translated into any follow-up activity. So when you go to the follow-up section, it's not going to have any agents in there. It's going to flag them. So as long as they have information out there that says they're a realtor, it's going to know that. So it's pretty cool, like the level of information that it gives you. The other thing, you meet someone at an open house. You do circle prospecting. Anytime you get a name, an email, a phone number, put it in here to see what else they can go find out about that person. That's huge for open house. Any leads that you get to add in, if I'm calling expireds or any of that stuff, I can put them into its own group. Expired, open house, online leads, whatever, Facebook ads. And now I'm really going to target those people. If they're a lead, typically they're responding to something about real estate in the first place, whether they're coming to an open house and they're a seller. I'm calling expireds. I'm calling whatever it is, probates, any of that stuff. So what a huge opportunity to be able to gain more insight on the leads that come through too. So when they want to talk about it's for a database, I'm like, yeah, it's for a database, but I'm putting everybody in here. I want to know as much about everybody. And then how do we put it together? We get everyone in here, go through and see what's grouped into who already comes up starred. And then you want to do your reach out, like they said on that video, focus on outreach, not necessarily organization, right? You have 60 days to kind of play around with this. Then systematically, after you've gone through your opportunities, now it's added into your LG and LC activities for 15 to 20 minutes every morning. You come in and go, okay, who's changed? Who's done this? Who's moved up? Who did I stay in flow with? it's going to give you reminders. The people I'm talking to, they say, Holly, it's no more than 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes and I do it 4 to 5 times a week and it's amazing. And sometimes there's nothing to do. Sometimes you're not going to have anybody flagged. So it's just a great added benefit for your activities within your lead generation and lead conversion. Now, the way I would put it together is, okay, I have 60 days free. I'm going to come in and I'm going to go to Remax University. When you go to Remax University, you scroll down on the left-hand side and you click the first app, the first button. I'll show you where that is in a minute. We're going to watch one more video. And I'm going to watch everything ahead of time. And then I'm going to look at my calendar because a lot of people are really busy. Like I'm noticing our classes are down a little bit, but I know that folks are busy now and that's great. I want to make sure if you download this, that you actually have about an hour a day for 5 days in a row devoted to be able to download, learn, filter around, hit things, you can't break it, and you commit to those first 5 hours. Then you have 55 days to kind of play around and you already have a good working. I think what happened is people downloaded it quick and then they got busy and then they forgot to go in and watch any videos and then they're like, oh, I don't have time. And then all of a sudden it's like, time to pay for your prescription. And then everybody's like, oh shoot, I don't even know if it's worth it. I'm just gonna cancel it. I don't think people canceled on purpose. I think we canceled because we weren't really sure what was going on. Is that a little bit like what you encountered, Jody? Maybe. That's what it sounded like. In the beginning, she was like,
Yes,
I
yes, it
downloaded
is.
this. Okay, so
I spent all that time inputting the contacts. I had to get busy doing some other work. Productive.
right. You just got busy with some others. So I'd rather everybody feel, kind of a little bit prepared and have about 100 or more people. If we just sync it to your phone, I mean, you probably have more than I have in my phone. So we already have this bank of people. And then if we want to schedule like a mastermind, after we can kind of get that going too, give everybody, okay, the first 20 days, you have to watch all the stuff on Remax University. You have to get committed to have a little bit of a working knowledge, have at least 100 to 200 people that you're ready to put in there. Spend 20 days and do that. And then on day 25, we start like a mastermind and say, okay, we're going to hold 3 in a row, maybe a week apart and really kind of dive in. And then at day 55, you can decide, you know what, this thing is pretty cool. I feel like I have a good habit. I see the value. And then you can continue on. I believe it's $465 a year and you can pay either quarterly or yearly. Those are the 2 options. You do have to make the selection at sign in. So let's go ahead and watch just the Get Started Here video. That'll give you a little bit more information on how to get it. I know, Vicki, you already have it, but for people watching later, they may want to kind of see what the steps are involved. So I'll go ahead and just 2 minutes.
When you are ready to start your journey with First, you can simply go to Mac Center, click on the First tile, or go to first.io on your internet browser. Or if you're using an Android or an Apple device and have access to the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store, you can download the First Conversations app from there. Once you have the app downloaded, you will then be prompted to set up an account. Your Remax credentials will work as your login information as the single sign-on is connected with your Remax.net credentials. You will then be asked to complete or create an account. It will then give you options on your billing preferences. You can choose to be billed on a quarterly basis or an annual basis. It will then ask you to complete the payment information. Please note, before the download will finish, you will need to prepay for the appropriate selection you have chosen. Once the payment information is finished, it will then prompt you to sync your contacts from your phone with the first app. After doing so, adding email addresses to sync contacts comes next, followed by the screen showing you where to send any CSV files, exported contact lists from other programs, or any other list of contacts you would like to add into First. As you see, that can be sent to Realtor Data at first.io. Lastly, as always, if you have any further questions or need any additional help, use the information on the screen to contact our product support team.
So I mean, it's pretty easy, and I know you both have it already. So what we want to make sure is that, did you sync everybody or the people that you want? Again, you can bring in outside lists. I think if I was going to use, I mean, honestly, I think I'd probably put a lot of people in here. Doesn't mean that I'm going to target them all, but I definitely want my sphere. I definitely want my preferred partners. I'd probably spend the first part trying to clean up, like, who is this person? Maybe it's someone that I should be in contact with. Sometimes we get in our own little world and we're missing opportunity. Like a weird thing, I had somebody call about a question. Honestly, I'd never met this person in person. I only knew her through Facebook. And so how many times does that happen where, like, I should know her in person, but I don't? And I think this last year, we probably know a lot more people through Facebook than we really know in person. And sometimes we think only the people, in our immediate sphere can have an impact, and it's not true. So you may be getting a lot more reach than you realize. So in this instance, I may be more one of like starting wide and kind of figuring out and drilling it down. And then of course, adding all my new leads, anybody new that comes into my world, from farming, from networking, from Facebook, from, online leads, referrals, whatever. And I think just getting the property owner information and the social contacts connected through an app that's on our phone that you can kind of do everything through there is pretty powerful. So I'm pretty encouraged by it, more than I was in the beginning, I'll be honest. I started out kind of going down with everybody else. Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's good, this and that. And then at the convention, it really piqued my interest. And now I've actually been able to talk to some folks that are having some significant wins in their flow through and in their business. So what kind of questions do we have? That's what I wanted to cover, but I want to make sure that I've covered questions that you may have been like, oh, I hope she covers this.
Do you find it simpler to do start this on your phone or online?
Phone. I think it's all done through the phone.
Okay.
Well, we uploaded our groups with a CVS file or CSV, whatever.
Yeah, you can email it. You can email a list.
I think that's what we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can email it
hope.
to that realtor data at first.io. But the functionality of it, I don't believe works on a desktop. Does it, Vicki? Isn't it? I think it's all through your phone, if I'm not mistaken.
I've not tried the desktop. We've just been goofing around with the phone. Now, it may be Michelle goofed around with the desktop. I'm not sure.
Okay, Jody, I'm going to look into it. I know that like PhotoFi is only on the phone.
Okay.
So I'll find out and just email you.
All righty.
Yeah. That's one thing that would keep me from it. I like the desktop.
Can you tell me what really is PhotoFi? Am I saying it right? PhotoFi?
Yeah, so PhotoFi is a mobile app. So it is an app on your phone. And and anybody can actually get PhotoFi. But when you're with Remax and you go in through the Remax invitation, what it'll do is, hold on, it's loading. It's going to give you all kinds of templates and stickers and templates and I mean, hold on. Oh, I have a new phone. I have a new phone, so I have to reload it. I haven't used it since I got the new phone. But it'll have all kinds of Remax, for sale signs and stickers and
Oh, okay.
I mean, all your social media stuff, and you can do it right from here. It's got Zoom stuff on it, video templates. It's similar to Canva. It's only on your phone, and you can upload a photo and just add I just sold this, or congratulations on the sale, and for your buyers and sellers and stuff, and just it saves it into your phone, and then you can just post it.
So it connects to social media like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn?
It does, but also everything you create actually just goes into a folder on your phone. So if I pull up
Oh.
yeah. So typically I don't even post directly from it. Hold on. I just use the saved, and then it goes into your gallery.
Okay.
There's a little,
Oh, I see.
Photofy.
Yeah. Okay.
and when you click on Photofy, like I had Remax Hustle with my new coffee maker. When I got
Okay.
my new coffee maker, and then I had just join this meeting. So tons of cool stuff. Now that one is not free. I believe it's $4 a month for Photofy.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. Denise, do you want to add anything about Photofy? Because I know you probably use it too.
I'm sorry, I got helping somebody, so I missed. But I do love Photofy. I use it on my iPad. I'm not great on the phone, so I do it on the iPad and just kind of create it. And then I always email it to myself, and sometimes I drop it in Canva and we'll do some extra stuff to it. But I think it's great on the go for agents. They can quickly take a picture of the front of the house. You can pick a template and pop it in there, coming soon, under contract, sold, whatever they want. There's tons of templates in there. So I feel like it's very user friendly. And if you don't have a picture of the house and want to do something, they have a ton of stock videos in there too. So it's very user friendly.
Okay, so answer me this, because I want to take Denise on the 27th, because I haven't had a lot of time to do stuff because I've been crazy in meetings and stuff. But Megaphone is not Photofy. It's totally in its own little world, right?
It is in its own world, but you can see stuff that you've created in Photofy in your Megaphone.
Okay.
They are trying to put them all in one place. So there is a little bit of integration there.
But Megaphone is largely, I'm not trying to get off topic.
No, you're fine. This is great.
Holly. Megaphone is really a vehicle to advertise the agent in your listings and your sold properties.
Right. It took the place of Design Center.
Oh,
totally. So yeah, it took the place of Design Center. So you have a ton of print products in there, as well as social media, web ads that you can pay for or not pay for. AdWorks, you got 7 days free when you had a listing. You still get that, but now it's through HomeSnap, which is connected to the Megaphone. So you get all that. You know how Design Center, you had the automation where you had a new listing and you got like 10 products sent to you that you just had to click and use. You still get that, but it's just through Megaphone.
It's through Megaphone. Okay. All right. I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a different vessel, but they have made it much more encompassing than Design Center was.
Okay, yeah, I got to the point where I did not use Design Center because it was very cumbersome. That was my opinion. But okay, so with the Megaphone, you get to it through the tile at Max Center.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go in. Yeah, I've got a bunch of new listings coming on board finally. Oh.
And I'm doing a class on Thursday next week. I think it is the 27th. I think it's Thursday.
Is there a link where I can sign up to that?
Yeah, it's always on our, when you go to Center Members and then go to our calendar, click there, and you can always find whatever's going on in Remax.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to go to. And when you get those listings, like if you need help, like, hey, I just listed it, you know, we can kind of do the flow through of where that listing goes through Megaphone. You know,
And
Yeah.
we
if
have
you
the
want.
power to, I'm sorry, Holly, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
If I did, we'll have the power to impersonate. So I can impersonate Vicky Dyer and go in there and do stuff on your behalf in the Megaphone system.
Oh.
See,
Mm.
we
I have
can
the
help
power.
you. We can take stuff off your plate.
Yep. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I always like this flyer. I know you do your own postcards because I see them come in, but you know, I always like this flyer. I like this postcard, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be easy for us to help you with that tool.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's not that I've not followed this. It's just that I didn't make it to the R4 because I got stuck having to be at Jekyll Island. Ugh. But which was fun. Okay. But so I missed the R4 when some of this stuff was rolled out. I'm still watching the R4 stuff when I have time because it was available, I think, for 90 days after you had paid for the virtual.
Yep.
I don't think it's done yet.
No, that's where I watched that implementing social media. So no, implementing marketing strategies, and it was James
Yeah.
Wood. And I heard of him a couple of years ago, but I'll tell you, it was really good. 45 minutes, and may play that one in the
Yeah, I've jumped around in it, and you know, gosh, I'm looking forward to Vegas. Woohoo!
No, we all are.
So is Jeff.
So any other, and again, this may have just prompted you want to re-engage because I know you both have it. So if, you know, if you want me to spend some time with your assistant, Vicky, or if Jody, you want to set up a time, we're happy to dive in there and see. I don't have it on my phone, but we can do a screen share or whatever so I can see
Yeah.
you know, what you're looking at and try to really drill down into this. There's a lot of good longer webinars. So I've watched a lot of the short ones, but in Remac University, there's like an hour-long one. I think I'm
Okay.
going to dive into that, and I'm happy to go ahead and get all that kind of done behind the scenes.
Do they have webinars on the new Megaphone app too at Remax University, or is it too new?
They do. Nope, they
They
do.
do
Have
have.
fun.
They do have webinar. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Great. All right. Well, that helps me a lot. Thank you.
Just call us. We'll help you through.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm a techie at heart, but really I am. But it depends
Yeah.
on how much time one wants to stay up to midnight learning tech.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like, we want to try to learn as much of it as we can to hopefully help you not have to learn it as much. And
Yeah.
we can help, you know, behind the scenes. So we're
Makes sense. Yeah.
working on all that.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions, did you have anything else, Jody?
No, I don't think so at this time. I'll try to
Okay.
get started on it so it is embedded.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let us know how we can help.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.